Hello and welcome. Okay, Project Morpheus continues. So it's time for an update. This is the Tuesday update, I believe. I think it's Tuesday. Emrys is almost out for the count, guys. The broken valve spring on the number 3 cylinder exhaust valve, that broken spring has ended Emrys. The cancer has spread to the entire bike, and Emrys has become a donator for Project Morpheus. Unfortunately, BMW Canada did not want to play nice with the warranty and took the head off and inspected it and figured out the valve spring broke, and then decided that that was not gonna, they're not gonna warranty a race bike at that point. And anyways, you got a couple sprockets ready to go. And for the update, you can notice the top of the triple is gone on Morpheus, and of course with the forks gone on Emrys. And I got the clip-ons removed just right down to the plugs, which are kind of a pain in the ass to get out if you don't know how to get that one out of the left switch. It's you don't want to just pull on these things, you want to know what you're doing, but it's kind of hard to guess. As an example, here is the left switch, and in there in the light there is a plug in the back. Oh, you guys, that's the strobe. Not that one. I don't know. Yeah, it's down in there somewhere, but it's hard to access. And you see, I took it apart, but in the end, you didn't have to take it apart if you know what you're doing. And so we're just gonna take the entire setup from Emrys and put her on, ready to go. I have the motor holders fairing stay that came off of Emrys. Just cleaned it up a bit and used the Mamsel Med Protector. These are actually the OEM aluminum to hold it on, so it's already lightweight, so don't need pro bolts for that. You can see these are the little screws that hold things in there, so that's why you need the tiny little Torx. When I say tiny Torx, if you're working on a BMW, you're going to need a T950 and a T8 and possibly a T6. So, and of course in the last little tidbit video I talked about the clutch switches. So you can see on both of the one from Emrys and the original one, I rotated to lock down the top tab, which indicates when the clutch is pulled in slightly, which disengages the quick shifter for street users. Not that that even matters, some kind of weird safety. And then I threw some Gorilla Tape over top of it. Plus there's blue Loctite in the little screws, because we don't want to lose that screw. And so next step is take a look at the triples. The top of the triple. So this is what's going on. This is the key from Emrys to match the RCK3 ECU. You can see it's got some pro bolts in here. You know, a little lighter, some aluminum pro bolt. Well, the OEM, this is what they prevent you from trying to steal the bike, I guess. And so you have to drill out the OEM bolt, steel, pretty heavy, to get the key off, to be able to get this ignition, so then you could just pop it right off the back. It just slides out. So if you're doing a keyless ignition as well, you know, you still got to drill that out. And another pro bolt right here to keep it lightweight for the clutch cable guide. And so this is the correct one from Emrys. And simple. Actually, I wanted to see what, oh yeah, it's on the tongue, it's on the triple, so I can't feel the bearing tightness right now. But as an example, if you come over to Emrys here, you can see it doesn't just loose, you know, like you want your bearings tight on your front end, not loose, not too tight, obviously, just right. But tighter is better than loose. If that was loose, you know, it would create an issue. And so you need a tool here. You can see I even made a mark, but there's a lock nut right here, and those are your, you know, you kind of like the rear suspension spring for the old style bikes, just a smaller one. And here's the throttle off of Emrys, ready to go. If anybody's wondering, these are just grip covers just to keep the grease and grime and everything that gets on your hands off of the grips. Okay, and then so these are the pieces that finish them off at the back side. So you just take out those little torque screws, like a Torque 8. And then interesting to note, this is the one that came out of Morpheus. Look at it, it's bent. Yeah, that's definitely bent. So that one goes through the handlebar on the clutch side, and that's how they connect them to. It goes back there. Oh, right there. So this is the one that is behind. See, the grip has a little thing for it. So the grip is not actually on the bar like back in the day, most things. They actually have a sleeve. So your grips for your BMW are actually two right-hand throttle grips. You know, you can't have just normal grips on it. And you know, obviously the throttle side is, the throttle grip has to be a slightly larger inner diameter fit over the throttle. And typically this one will be shorter and skinnier to fit right on a bar direct. But BMW, because of the heated grip option, they attach it together with the device, so you actually need two right-hand grips if you're buying grips, or two sets. And here is the OEM fairing stay, for example. And, you know, and sometimes you need to get extras of these rubbers to hold on the dash. But that pretty much concludes the update. I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to bolt down the top triple and get the forks on, get the handlebars, switches, all that stuff, clutch, brake, and then get so the front end will be sorted, get the dash on, get the ECU on, and move on from there. Anyways, guys, this is part 7 or 7.5, depending if you include the clutch switch video. Cheers.